day everybody. Today we're going to cook some steak on the grill and we're going to use the reverse searing method. Let's check it out. So one of the first things that you want to do when you have your steak is you want to add some olive oil to all sides and top and bottom. And what I will be using here is the spray version. I've used it a number of times and it works really well. And you just basically just give it a little coat like that. These sides, flip it over. Once you've got your steak all sprayed up with the olive oil, then next it's time to pull out your favorite spices. I have one here that I've concocted on my own, and it's a coffee style rub. That's an old sticker from one that I used to have. I just put it on here so I know what this was, but I've made this one up on my own. And along with that, I quite often like to put on a little bit of the keg steak spice too, just because I like the taste of it. Put some on your plate, and then you can do the actual sides of it as well. That all coated. That on there. Press it in so it sticks to it really well. Now, once you've got it coated in your spices and everything, I usually like to let it sit for anywhere from a half hour to an hour, and then that gives it time to soak in some of those spices into the actual meat. So we'll let that sit now, and we'll go fire up the barbecue. Once you get your fire set up in that, the next step will be to set this up for indirect cooking, so we can reverse sear the steak. And what I do for that is we gotta throw in the deflector plates. And the last grill grate that we put in is our searing grill. I use a cast iron searing grill to put the final touches on it. So now I'll just let that sit, and I'll let all the heat deflector and the grill grates all warm up. When I'm heating this up, I want my temperature to get to about 550 degrees Fahrenheit. So once we hit temperature, open it up. I usually like to start with the fat side towards the flame. I set it right about there, just over top of that heat deflector plate. And we shut her down, set my dampers, and then set a timer for 4 minutes. So after our first 4 minutes, take that steak, flip it over, and let it go for another 4 minutes. Make sure your dampers are set back correct. Now comes the part where we sear this on the over the flame side. Just flip it right over there. Shut the lid. Set your dampers back where you need them. And we're going to do that for 30 seconds. Open back up. Flip it over to the second side. Another 30 seconds. And the thing that I like to do is I do like to close the top damper down pretty much all the way because I do not want flames coming up and hitting the meat. Steak is cooked and ready to go. Now I like my steaks cooked to about a medium rare. So if you like them cooked more than that, then you're gonna have to play around with your cooking times. Mostly on the, not the searing side, but the indirect side is where you want to extend it if you want it cooked more.